They're in the gate. And they're off. Tiger of the Sea had a very nice beginning. So too the favorite Della Terra. These two vying for command. But it is Tiger of the Sea who is quickest and up to take command. Mendelssohn's Angel is moving up in between horses as part of the pace, as is Pavel's Etoile. They are followed on the outside by Sally's Wish, who's 4 lengths off the lead. Dialing Destiny is trying to make some headway early on. Moving through on the inside, coming to the half-mile pole. Then Mia Pia, Naturally Bond in between horses. Sparta FC outside of them. Cash's Candy and Surfin' Candy at the back. Tiger of the Sea, sharp on the comeback, 2-length lead. Pablo Zetoile in second. 2 more back to Sally's Wish on the outside third as Pablo Zetoile is right up to Tiger of the Sea and takes the lead with a quarter of a mile to go. Della Terra with a lot of work to do, currently 6th. Tiger of the Sea has another gear and turns away Pablo Zetoile powerfully with a furlong left to go. Pablo Zetoile now coming back for more. Out in the center, Mendelssohn's Angel. 16th pole, Tiger of the Sea. Pablo Zetoile, Mendelssohn's Angel on the outside. Pablo Zetoile, Mendelssohn's Angel. Here's the line. Mendelssohn's Angel runs down Pablo Zetoile. Tiger of the Sea, a solid comeback. Battle for 4th included Della Terra. Up next, race 2, started the early pick 4 in 22 minutes. Grubauer for Tim McKenna goes up. They're in the gate. And they're off. Code Duello is very fast. So is Grubauer, and Lawless World comes through on the inside. And then it's Berlin Wall and the Pink Silks racing close up in between horses. Miracle Mark is next, and Ghost of Midnight is at the back of the field. So it's Lawless World just in front, heading to the half-mile pole, prompted by Berlin Wall in second. And then it's Grubauer in the clear. Miracle Mark is a close-up 4th, taking 3rd into the far turn. Code Duello, who broke well, is now toward the back of the field as they come toward the 3/8 pole. And outside of him is Ghost of Midnight. Lawless World takes him around that turn, leading by a length and a half. Grubauer inches up willingly on the outside of Berlin Wall. Miracle Mark gets a nudge to go on. Code Duello in between horses. Ghost of Midnight outside of that pair. They're covered by 4 lengths with a quarter of a mile to go, and Grubauer, traveling kindly on the outside, is up to challenge for the lead. Lawless World is down at the rail. Code Duello, 1 from the outside. They're in the final furlong. Berlin Wall not going away. He's in between horses. Grubauer on the outside. Lawless World tough. And Ghost of Midnight is taking off with giant strides. Ghost of Midnight and Abel Lescano blow by them all. Berlin Wall 2nd. Lawless World 3rd. Photo for 4th between Grubauer and Miracle Mark. They're in the gate. And they're off. A smooth start for the heavy favorite Cashed, and Final Table Lady has plenty of early gas and is quickest early on. Tammy Baby is in 3rd through the opening stages, then Billie Holiday and Jacqueline Lucas trails. It's Final Table Lady and Cashed head and head. Final Table Lady, trying to maintain that lead, has it 3/4 of a length. Cashed is a tugging second. It's a gap of 3 lengths then. Back to Billie Holiday, Jacqueline Lucas, and Tammy Baby inside of them. Around the far turn, and Final Table Lady is the target for Cashed, who appears to be cruising past the 3/8 pole. Cashed on the outside has the upper hand, and Cashed now puts her head in front, coming to the quarter pole. 3 back to Billie Holiday in 3rd. They pass the quarter pole and turn for home, and Cashed in hand, takes command, and opens up 3 at the top of the stretch. Final table lady, Billie Holiday, followed by Jacqueline Lucas and Tammy Baby. It's a one-horse race coming to the 16th pole, and it's cashed clear by 5. Good battle for second, but a no doubt about it performance from Cashed under Umberto Rispoli, scoring by 3. Jacqueline Lucas got the best of Billie Holiday to complete the exacta. For the $2 million FanDuel Breeders' Cup Mile this fall at Del Mar. A middle pick 4 is offered starting in 25 minutes. We're in the gate, and they're off in the City of Hope Mile. It was a smooth beginning for all. Zio Joe is going out for the early lead. Here's Final Boss between horses and Cabo Spirit on the outside. Umberto Rispoli gets a dream spot for Johannes in 4th, moving toward the rail 4 lengths off the lead. Scooby Quando is second to last, and Almendaris at the back of the field. They move into the first turn, and Zio Joe sets the tempo, leads at 3/4 of a length to Final Boss. 2 more Cabo Spirit, now 3.5, 4 off the pace in 3rd. Johannes is in 4th under a nice hold at this stage, followed by Scooby Quando, and Almendaris is just outside of him. 6 lengths covers the field. It's Zio Joe and Final Boss 1-2 toward the half-mile pole. Cabo Spirit remains in 3rd. Johannes on the outside. Scooby Quando just inside of him. And Almendaris has trailed throughout. Moving into the far turn, Zio Joe hounded comfortably by Final Boss, who's poised on the outside. Cabo Spirit making his move 3 deep. There goes Cabo Spirit now, forcing the hand of Final Boss as they move around the far turn, and Cabo Spirit is the new leader in the City of Hope Mile. Final Boss in between horses. Zio Joe. Johannes is in 4th, swinging to the outside there at the top of the stretch. Zio Joe fights back. Final Boss. Johannes cut loose in the center of the course, and Cabo Spirit still running a big race, but it's Johannes supremely confidently handled, and he storms to the front for a back-to-back score in the City of Hope Mile. Johannes is back home and back on top. Photo for second between Cabo Spirit and a closing Almendaris. American King going in the gate. And they're off. Work is out very quickly. Providence came out okay, but is currently 4th as they run down the back stretch. So it's Work head and head with Army Man. Army Man puts his head in front, and now Providence glides through on the inside. And Providence is the new leader from Work. Army Man 3rd. Rio Grande not quick out of there, takes 4th. Plagiarist is in 5th, and American King at the back with a half mile to go. And it's the favorite Providence carting out the fractions, leads at 3/4 of a length. Work tries to apply some pressure 2nd. Army Man 3rd, Rio Grande tucked in neatly 4th, just 2 lengths off his stablemate. On the outside of them, Plagiarist has lost some ground, and American King continues to trail. Providence opening up now, coming to the quarter pole. It's a 2-length lead. Rio Grande moves comfortably into 2nd. On the outside, Army Man is in 3rd. Plagiarist trying to re-rally into it. They're at the top of the stretch. And Providence with a 3-length lead. In 2nd is Rio Grande, followed by Plagiarist, who's trying his best, angling to the center of the racetrack. Providence with a 16th to go has a 3-4-length lead. And Providence, exuding class throughout, scores by 3. Plagiarist got up to complete the exacta. Rio Grande was 3rd. Championship. The late pick 5 and all turf pick 3 start with the 6th in 25 minutes. Hot and Gold Phoenix. We're in the gate. And they're off in the John Henry Turf Championship. And Balladeer, showing his customary early speed, is up to take command right away. Spycatcher comes away in the second spot, and Rostam and Vibe is down on the inside, a joint third with Dicey Mochara right next to him. Stay Hot broke well and has settled comfortably, 7 or 8 lengths off the pace. Mondego is just inside of him, and Gold Phoenix at the back of the field. By the stands for the first time, and it's Balladeer bounding along with a 4-length lead. Spycatcher is second by the same margin, and Rostam and Vibe. Dicey Mochara is side by side, as are Mondego, Stay Hot, and Gold Phoenix is at the back. Around the clubhouse turn, Balladeer out the way he likes it. Left alone, 7 in front. Spycatcher still in second. Dicey Mochara clear-cut third. Rostam and Vibe on the rail in fourth. They are followed by Mondego, who's in fifth and getting a little closer, 2 lengths in front of an unhurried Stay Hot and Gold Phoenix. They're heading to the half-mile pole. Balladeer, the controlling speed, still winging out front, with Spycatcher leading the next flight. Dicey Mochara's in third. Then comes Rostam and Vibe. Mondego continues to make headway on the outside. Gold Phoenix is out of last, and Stay Hot next to him. Balladeer's lead down to 4 lengths around the far turn. Spycatcher, Dicey Mochara, Rostam and Vibe, Mondego, Gold Phoenix has 6 lengths to come. And in behind him, Stay Hot there at the top of the stretch. Balladeer, Spycatcher on the outside. There's room for Gold Phoenix, who's weaving through traffic. It's been a great journey for him, Rispoli. And Gold Phoenix taking off with a furlong left to go. And Stay Hot on the outside, finding his best stride. Gold Phoenix hits the front, chased intently by Stay Hot. Gold Phoenix wins the John Henry Turf Championship. Stay Hot was second, Spycatcher third, then Mondego. Post time for the 7th, which is 22 minutes away. Start of the late pick. We're in the gate. And they're off. 406 Creed, Tiger in My Tank. In between them, Ballyvon Gig is a little quicker and up to take the lead. Here's Hotbox moving up swiftly now to take second. Then Devil Among Us up close. Raging Waters, a gap of 6 back to Kahuna Magic, and Major Tom trails down the back stretch. And it's Ballyvon Gig dueling with Hotbox on the inside. Just behind them, Devil Among Us is an eager third in a little bit of a tight spot, but he's only a length and a half off the top pair as the field rounds the far turn. Hotbox by a head. Ballyvon Gig second. Tiger in My Tank a 3-wide third. 406 Creed fourth. Devil Among Us is now retreating. He's fifth and 6 lengths off the lead suddenly with a quarter of a mile to go. And Tiger in My Tank presses the issue and is up to take the lead under Kyle Frey at the top of the stretch. Tiger in My Tank is the one to catch with 1 furlong to go. 406 Card, though, is coming with a big run on the inside, and Kahuna Magic on the outside of them, also in with a fighting chance. 406 Creed, Kahuna Magic, these two go on. 406 Creed and Diego Herrera, Kahuna Magic, Humberto Rispoli. Photo finish. That's closer than you might think. Very close. Between 406 Creed and Kahuna Magic, they hit the wire together. Tiger in My Tank was third. First piece, the gray to the outside. And they're off in the Eddie D. And Kale's Angel is very quick away from there. So too Mucho Del Oro, flashing his customary early zip. And Sorrento Sky is now in mid-pack, about 5 lengths off the lead, as Mucho Del Oro emerges with a 2-length advantage. Yellow Card in second, Beyond Brilliant a joint third. Nesso's Last Hurrah is down at the rail. They're followed by Sorrento Sky with 6 lengths to make up. Down at the rail, Reef Runner in the blue. Kale's Angel one from the outside, along with First Piece. They passed the 3/8 mark, and it's Mucho Del Oro leading it by 2 lengths. Beyond Brilliant has his head into second. Down at the rail, Yellow Card in third. Kale's Angel, first piece in the red, looming up on the outside now to be a part of it. Sorrento Sky, Nesso's last hurrah down at the rail. It's wide open, top of the stretch. Mucho Del Oro tries to sprint clear. Yellow Card is coming after him in second. Out in the center of the course, Sorrento Sky. And here's Reef Runner. And Reef Runner in the blue is coming fast after Yellow Card or Reef Runner. Reef Runner on the outside trying to get to Yellow Card. Reef Runner with the momentum. Reef Runner and Armando Ayuso to win the Eddie D. Yellow Card was second. Sorrento Sky finished third. Coming up next, the 9th, the $300,000 Grade 1 Goodwood Stakes, a Breeders' Cup Challenge, winning your and Full Serrano to complete the line. We're in the gate. And they're off in the Goodwood, and Full Serrano sprints out of the gate straight to the top. First Mission has speed, and here's Privman coming through along the inside. Privman and Full Serrano will duel early on with Full Serrano just in front. Privman at the rail in second. First Mission 4 off the pace in third. Nevada Beach is next, followed by Ultimate Gamble, and Express Train is at the back of the field. They round the first turn, and Juan Hernandez and Full Serrano go to clear off, lead at a length and a half. Privman concedes that spot in second, 2.5 more back to Nevada Beach, who's clearly into third and on the move. Then comes First Mission at the rail with 3.5 to make up, joined and passed by Express Train, and 2 more to Ultimate Gamble. They run past the 5/8 pole with Full Serrano, the leader. Nevada Beach comes to tackle in second, and Privman still tugging a bit at the rail third. Express Train is fourth, 3 lengths off the lead, coming to the half mile. Then comes First Mission, and outside of him, Ultimate Gamble. Fairly compact, 5 lengths covers them. Full Serrano is the target into the far turn, with Nevada Beach a half length behind and putting the pressure on him now. And here's Nevada Beach right alongside Full Serrano midway on the far turn. Those two race together as one. Privman is in third. Express Train. First Mission has a lot of ground to make up, and 2 more to Ultimate Gamble. They're at the top of the stretch. Full Serrano and Nevada Beach are head and head coming to the 8th pole. Privman's in third inside the final 1/8 of a mile, and Nevada Beach is up to take the lead. Full Serrano trying his best, but Nevada Beach now sprints for the wire, and it's a defining moment for Nevada Beach as he wins the Grade 1 Goodwood. Full Serrano was second. Privman finished third, and First Mission was fourth. For the John C. Harris Stakes. They're in the gate. And they're off in the John C. Harris Stakes, and it's a very quick start for Lee's Baby Girl, and Me So Fancy is up close as well in the opening stages. Casaloo in the mix, and 1,000 Miles in the green. Shield Fleet, Practical Dream in the mix, just 2 lengths off the lead. They're followed by Innovative in mid-pack, 3 clear of Warming on the inside of Favor to You. It's another couple back to stretch running Eiffel, who's 2 lengths in front of Don't Tell Our Wives, and Wink and a Grin is the trailer. Down the hill, and Lee's Baby Girl continues to flash that speed, leading the way toward the quarter pole with Casaloo in pursuit second. In comes Shilfleet, and Practical Dream is in fourth. Here's Warming, now angling a bit off the rail to commence her bid on the inside of Innovative. Just in behind them, Me So Fancy in the pink. They're at the top of the stretch. Lee's Baby Girl floats very wide. Casaloo in hot pursuit with a furlong left to go. Shilfleet, Practical Dream is down at the rail. 4 lengths back to Innovative next. Warming is threading through traffic, and even Favor to You. It's going to be a wild scramble. Here's Innovative erupting on the outside, and Innovative gets up under Ricky Gonzalez to nail Lee's Baby Girl. Behind them, Warming. Favor to You was in a photo for one of the minor awards. Casalou and Eiffel was coming late. Innovative wins the John C. Harris Stakes. Presentation for the John C. Harris Stakes is made by Cookie Harris, the widow John C.
If you enjoyed yesterday's 10 race card, and I think you did because total handle was $9.5 million on those 10 races, you're going to like today's card as well. Yesterday we had 3 Breeders' Cup win in your in races. Today we have 2, one that impacts the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare division and also one that impacts the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Hi everybody, my name's Tom Quigley, VIP player concierge. If we don't have enough action on the 10 race card, we've also got 2 carryovers. In the last race, race 10, we've got a $15,000 super high 5 carryover and the Sunset Pick 6, the new $1 wager with a low 15% takeout. No one has solved that riddle the first 2 days of the wager. Today, there's a 2-day carryover in excess of $47,000, combining the last 3 races at Gulfstream Park with the last 3 races at Santa Anita. Standing next to me in her Dodger Blue is someone you guys know very well. Her name, Michelle Yu. Michelle, happy Sunday. Welcome to the seminar.
Happy Sunday, TQ. I don't know if I go Dodger Blue. I'm not really a baseball fan.
You know, the playoffs are starting next week.
If you had paid me $1 million and said, Michelle, what playoffs are starting next week, I don't think I could have gotten baseball for you.
Speaking of $1 million, you just put in your Sunset 6 wager.
I did. It was not $1 million. I actually have tapered off my wager. I started really big and I thought I'm going to go big or go home. And now I'm kind of running home with my tail tucked between my legs. It's a little bit more challenging than I thought. You know, I'm not a pick six player. Yesterday, the first day, I actually did really well. I only had one slot I was missing. And it was like the price horse at Gulfstream in the last. I didn't have that one. And then yesterday, I did not have the winner of the Goodwood because I singled full Serrano to get
Bob Baffert
I
off your
hate
ticket.
singling, Tom. And I singled anyways. And today I also am singling, even though it pains me to do so.
Here or Gulfstream Park? Where's your single?
Okay. Here. We'll Gulfstream Park. I'm like, la la la. It's like flowers everywhere. I have to spread at Gulfstream.
We'll get to that a little bit later. But Michelle, before we look forwards, let's look backwards. You mentioned Nevada Beat winning the Goodwood. A little bit of an upset. A 3-year-old Bob Baffert hadn't been seen since June at Los Alamitos. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, he ran really well. And, him and Priven had actually worked together. I found it challenging to choose him because Bob was supposed to take him to Parks, and he ended up not taking him to Parks because he didn't like his work, right? Well, he came right back and worked with Privman. He actually worked better than Privman did. But I'm like, how bad was his work that he didn't like? I mean, to me, it was fine, but just to reroute like that.
And then he had to run against Older yesterday.
He had to run against Older. And, Baffert horses have done obviously very well. He's won the race 8 times, but he's only won it with one 3-year-old, and that was Medina Spirit. So it's been a little bit since he's been able to do that. And I love Full Serrano. I'm a huge Full Serrano fan.
Could he be a horse for course? Maybe does he just like Del Mar a little bit better?
No. I mean, this is what I think it was. I think when they broke, he was a little bit aggressive to get going. You can kind of see him leaning in, and he wanted to take the bit and go. And I think that, JJ was trying his best to kind of like meter off his speed because they were stretching him out. I always think that's the bad angle to do. Like if you're trying to kind of rate your horse that has a lot of natural acceleration, which he has. So when he took back and he got those easier fractions, well, then Mike Smith is no dummy. He's not like, oh yeah, you go out and do whatever you want, right? Mike Smith is there, and Mike Smith puts the pressure on. So Full Serrano went from kind of being a free, loose and easy kind of guy to being held and having that pressure the whole time. And as soon as he started to move, Nevada Beach moved. As soon as he moved, Nevada Beach moved. Then you can see when they came down the lane, Nevada Beach was really putting the pressure on him. And I just think that Full Serrano couldn't take all that pressure the whole time. He got no opportunity for a breather. So even though he didn't go as fast as he probably could have, I just think that the circumstances of a tight field and trying to get a little too cute might have, combined for him to get beaten there. Still a super good horse. I mean, he's
really
never run a bad race. Yeah,
exactly.
You can always wheel back to the dirt mile. If he was say going to stretch out in the Breeders' Cup Classic, I think you have to think of a trip for him and what you want and anticipate doing. But like sometimes, the best laid plans just don't come to fruition. He looked great in there, and he got beat by a horse who was really ready to go that day.
What about Johannes in the City of Hope Mile? 8 for 8 now over the San Anita Turf Course, and the time was impressive, 1:34 and change. I mean, that was only his second start this year. Very impressive.
Yeah, he was super impressive. Going down the backside, he pretty much clipped heels with Cabo Spirit, and you saw his head go all over. With Umbi trying to take control there, he went really wide, and he just motored down the outside. I mean, that was the Johannes that we knew and loved. I thought it was very ambitious of them to go to Saratoga for his return to the races. I mean, you had the chance of weather. The track wasn't, as firm as it is out here. I think it was just a really big ask, and he ran into a whole lot of horses that had been running consistently throughout the year when he had been coming off a break. And you take into consideration the fact that he got annihilated at the start. I mean, it was just, it's a draw line through, right?
Of course.
I think that he's going to be able to run a really, really good race in the Breeders' Cup. Man, he's a good horse.
John Henry Turf Championship won by Gold Phoenix. We know he likes Del Mar. Yesterday, he proved us that he also likes Santa Anita Turf Course.
He's tried that race a couple of times and hasn't been able to break through. I think his best finish was a second or a third a couple of years back, and then he's been fifth in the last few. I said, sorry, Gold Phoenix, but I said that maybe the distance is a little short for him because obviously he loves that not quite marathon, but a little bit more longer distance that he tends to get at Del Mar, and that's why he's been caught a little short here. But in actuality, the field yesterday wasn't star-studded, and this is a horse that's run fourth in the Breeders' Cup a couple times behind some of the best horses in the world. So really, on talent alone, he should have won yesterday. I was happy to see him pull it off, though. I think it was awesome. I think he gave us a really minted Gold Phoenix. I texted Billy yesterday. I said, no more Gold Phoenix. He's Platinum Phoenix.
Sure
He's
is.
awesome.
What about Reef Runner? Now 3 for 3 since being gelded. 2 of those wins here in Southern California, winning the Eddie D.
Yeah, he looked really great yesterday, right? I mean, everyone was kind of curious to see if he was going to want to stretch out.
Correct.
He had been working here, I thought, really well. We showed his work yesterday on the simulcast show, working with the John Sadler horse, and he just looked really strong. They obviously had this whole kerfuffle about the rider situation, but sometimes the first time you get a rider on, it works out, right?
Sure.
And that horse ran an absolute powerhouse of a race. You know, he obviously didn't mind the 6.5. He didn't mind the hill. Very few horses, I feel like, can overcome so many obstacles first time down the hill, and he thought no problem. So that was a really good effort from him.
You and your husband, Ryan Hansen, got up to meet off to a good start. Congratulations on your victory. I believe it was in race number 4 on Friday.
Yeah, Seegerman got the win. Yeah, a really good ride there from Edwin, actually. I have to give a lot of credit to him because he got him out of the gate, and if you watch the replay, he could just kind of put his hands up. So he wasn't shoving the horse along, making him off balance, and he wasn't trying to fight him at all. He kind of let Seegerman find his own rhythm there, and once he did, he was able to utilize him and go on the way that he wanted to. So I thought that was a really good. He made an early move around the turn, and that was the race we hoped from him at Del Mar that we didn't get, but happy to get the win here regardless.
None of us can knock Michelle Yu off balance. She's going to tell us who she likes on today's 10-race card, including who she played on the Sunset 6 wager. We'll get all that information, but before we do, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramani and get the early changes on today's Sunday's card here at the Great Race Place.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. The track is fast and the turf course is firm. Here are the early changes. In the first, keep in mind, Gulfstream's 8th will start the Sunset Pick 6. There's $47,000. In the Sunset 6 carryover, $47,000 starts with Gulfstream's 8th. It's the last 3 races from Gulfstream, the last 3 from Santa Anita Park. The new Sunset Pick 6, no one's hit it yet. In the second, started the early Pick 4. No program changes. In the third, in addition to the program scratch of 5, Zayarat, scratch 3, Twilight Empire, win wagering only now. No place or show, just win wagering on the third. Scratch 3 and 5. The fourth starts a middle Pick 4, scratch 2, Chai. In the fifth, started the $2 Pick 6. No changes. Race 6 kicks off the all-turf Pick 3. Rail is at 10 feet on the turf today. Also the late Pick 5. Number 10, Senor Tequilas, carries 3 pounds over now. Scratch 12, throw the first punch. The 7th is the Zenyatta, started the late Pick 4, a Breeders' Cup win, and you're in for the Distaff division. No scratches or jockey changes. $3 late Pick 3 starts with the 8th. Scratch 8, Miss Will. Scratch 13, Don't Mess with Tess. And scratch number 14, Isa Court. 8, 13, 14 are out. The 12 does draw in. The 9th, the Santa Anita Sprint Championship, presented by Estrella Jalisco. Breeders' Cup win, and you're in for the Sprint division. No changes. And in the 10th, scratch the also eligibles 12, 13, and 14. No one hit the super high 5 yesterday. We have $15,361 in the carryover. Carryovers galore. Continuing here at Santa Anita Park, the Sunset Pick 6 starts with Gulfstream's 8th. It has 47,000 plus, 15,000 plus the super high 5 carryover. And don't forget, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays means coast-to-coast Pick 5 offered. 7th, 8th, and 9th from Gulfstream, 4th and 5th from the Great Race Place. That concludes the summary of the early changes. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner, resume the seminar. His special guest, big part of our broadcast team, Michelle Yu.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Michelle Yu. She's part of the Sandy and simulcast team. She's a host and analyst. She's also putting in some overtime today by joining us on the seminar. She's going to walk through all 10 races of who she likes and why. So, Michelle, let's kick things off in race number 1, which begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. We're on the turf course going 1 mile. The rails today on the turf course are at 10 feet. This race is for Calbred maiden special weights. A good field of 11. Morning line favorite is number 6, Mav Man, who's currently 6-5 on the tote board. Talk to us about race 1.
Madman is certainly playable in here, but I wound up on the 5 fight back for my tab. You go 2 back. He was only beaten a nose. Came off a little bit of a break last time. I didn't have the cleanest of trips. I think with a cleaner trip today, he'll be able to find the winner's circle. I like Spoli getting back aboard him. He was aboard him for that runner-up effort, and he's having a hell of a weekend.
He sure is. A lot of stakes races. Good news for Matt Nakatani as well. Question for you, Michelle, because you and your husband support California racing so aggressively. One of your owners is Mr. Barton, and of course, Mr. Barton is all in on the California breeding program.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly is, and he's been great because he brings all his horses up to the sales, right? And he sells his good ones, he sells the slow ones, he sells everything, and whatever he doesn't sell, that's what he races. So, I know there's other operations in Kentucky. You can see they keep their stuff that they want to race and breed eventually, right? I love that pretty much the Barton MO is we're going to try to sell everything, and we'll just race whatever people don't want to race. And they've made a nice little career of it. They're obviously one of the top breeders. I love the fact that he supports California by not only breeding horses here to his own sires, but he also sends a lot of mares. I mean, 100 mares a year, right? He's sending back east to get bred and then bring them back and have all these nice Calbreds. I mean, last year he sold a Calbred Yopon, a Calbred Mackenzie, a Calbred, this year there was a couple of Nashvilles and whatnot. So he's trying to bring that Kentucky blood here, but giving you Calbreds at the same time.
Earlier this week, you went to the sale down the 210 at Fairplex, and you actually brought some horses home. Yeah,
we did. We took home it's 5 or 6 horses.
Wow.
So really nice. And we had a couple of them that we tried to spread it out. So we got a Bodie Express, a Dad's Caps. We got a Sir Prancelot. What else did we get? Oh, and an early voting.
Okay.
And
Beautiful.
then we had 2 clients get horses that are coming to us to break as well.
It's been a good week for you.
It was a good week. We got 2 horses in Kentucky the week before that, too.
Wow. Busy. That's for
poor.
sure.
I'm poor now. I have.
How
much does this show pay? I forgot. I've got to get the Sunset Pick 6 hit.
A bottle of water.
Oh, well, I wouldn't even take that. I have to bring my own bottled water.
Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4, 6.5 furlongs in the main track for fillies and mares. Maiden optional claiming types, a field of 5. The only 4-year-old in the field, number 1, a friend of mine, is the even money favorite from the Phil D'Amato barn. What say you about race 2, Michelle?
I used a friend of mine, but on top, I wound up with the 4 Gathered for Michael McCarthy. Ran 7th last time out off of the layoff down at Del Mar. And I don't know, I felt like this horse still has some room to be a better horse than we kind of showed last time. Again, a horse that had a little bit of trouble with traffic issues. So I put him on top there, hoping that she could get the victory today. Looking at a friend of mine, I didn't love the fact that last time out, she was absolutely crushed. Prior to that, she ran well in these restricted maidens, which is what we're going to get here. But she is, again, a younger horse. And I don't know. I liked her, didn't love her at even money.
Michelle, take a look at the past performances for your top selection, number 4, Gathered. This might be the most surprising statistic on today's card. Take a look in the bottom right-hand corner of the past performances for Gathered. John Velasquez and Michael McCarthy are 0 for 36 the last 2 years. Now, if you had given me $1 million, I would have never guessed that they've been that cold because they've been so dynamic together for a long period of time.
I always tend to just think of Johnny V being really dynamic with Todd or with Bob. So I didn't even think about the long-standing relationship that he's had with Michael McCarthy also.
It's just surprising.
It is surprising.
Almost Hall of Fame caliber,
do you want me to
right?
re-handicap now? I'm not sure.
Because now I mushed it. They're going to go right to the winner's circle after I pointed out that statistic. It's just surprising to me. Just very, very surprising. Now, race number 3, a lot of horse players are probably going to go tune into an NFL game or something because, unfortunately, we've got 2 scratches in race number 3. Number 3, Twilight Empire, the original morning line favorite, has been declared out of the race, as has number 5, who is a program scratch. Just leaves us with a field of 3, win wagering only for these fillies and mares, $8,000 claimers, 1 mile on the main track. But someone's going to win the race. Who's it going to be?
I wound up, let's see, I hemmed and hawed at what to do. I did wind up.
How is that possible with just 3 horses to choose
Well, that's
from?
what it makes it even harder, in my opinion.
Because
Right? I mean,
the pace is a little muddy.
Yeah, look at the race in New York the other day. That was the graded stake. That was 3 horses.
Yep.
And it's really hard to select just one of them because of the pace scenario, because who was the race for? How's it going to set up? You know what I mean? So I think it's harder sometimes than an 8 or 9 horse field race.
I get it. I totally get it.
Especially then because it's so glaringly obvious if you don't pick the right horse. So I did originally land an Ole Silver back to the $8,000 level, where the last time she ran, she absolutely decimated them. Her last 2 were great. And I just thought that the one, Ivory Moon, last time out finished 3rd to Twilight Empire, who would have been my selection in here. It's going to be a lone speed scenario. Now, could that change when they see her winging it away? I mean, I don't think the 2 has much pace, but Ole Silver could sit there and try and pounce on her. But I'm hoping Ivory Moon just scoots away and doesn't look back. And that's who I landed on, although it's lukewarm at best. You would not want to bathe in this bathwater.
Race number 4 begins the 50-cent middle pick 4. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the flat turf course once again for fillies and mares. Allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than there is 1 scratch. Scratch the 2 leaves us with a field of 9. The morning line favorite, lukewarm at that, is number 7. Yellow Sundress, trained by Mark Latt, ridden by Kent DeSormo, lukewarm 4-1 morning line favorite. This is a difficult race, Michelle.
It is a difficult race. And, Yellow Sundress, I think it's a positive because she's turning back in distance to 6 furlongs where she's run easily her best races. But also those races were against starter company and, of course, breaking her maiden. So once you break your maiden for 50 and you're starter eligible, you get that series of kind of easier races. So I'm not sure if her last couple, it's just been because she routed or because of her company. And if it's because of her company, because she did get to go 5 furlongs 2 back, I'm going to try and beat her. So I ended up with Madonna of Loretto on top here. She is a 3-year-old against older. She gets to turn back in distance though, and she broke her maiden very nicely going the 6.5 furlongs. She's only going to get 6 here today, but I think that's fine because prior to that she had run all right at 5 furlongs at Del Mar. Not her last effort where she faced a little bit salty of competition. It was off the break, but her first start. So I ended up with her, just kind of hoping that this is a filly that has some upside, whereas we've seen from Yellow Sundress, she might not be quite allowance level, and Madonna of Loretto's that 3-year-old, about to turn the corner, that she still might be able to be that allowance level.
Your second pick in the race is also a 3-year-old filly, number 5, Sunglow, drawn right outside your top choice. What do you like about her?
I don't usually love first time versus winners, but I wound up with her because she's just been a really consistent performer, in all of her stateside starts. She's just run really well. I like her running style. She is going to have to tangle with a little bit more ground, but she's run okay at 6.5. And, she was beaten by Madonna of Loretto previously, but the 6 furlongs might help her out. If you don't like her on top, you have to kind of use her underneath because she's just been such a consistent horse. Oh, Zoe's calling me.
Well, let's find out what Zoe wants. She's obviously not watching the seminar. Let's put her on speaker. Let's put her on speaker. Come on.
Let's see what Zoe wants. Well, she might say a bad word.
No, come on. Zoe, are you there?
Hello.
You're on the seminar.
No,
I'm not here right
it got to voicemail.
Oh, okay. Well, no. Zoe, call back. Come on.
Call back.
We know you're not watching the seminar, otherwise you wouldn't have called.
I'll text her.
Okay.
I'm doing Tom Quigley's, but if you call back, we'll answer on air. Make it really interesting.
All right, you like Sunglow. I have a feeling Sunglow is going to be the favorite because our mutual friend.
Do you?
Well, Mark Stallion is part owner of Sunglow. We know Mark Stanton.
Yeah. And, well, how much money is he going to donate to Karma if Sunglow wins? That's my question.
He's very generous with his donations.
So unbelievably generous.
So he will definitely make a donation, as should most horse players, obviously, when you hit a big lick, which he's done many, many times. Race number 5 begins the $2 pick 6. Congratulations to the winners yesterday. $14,000 was the winning payout on the $2 Sandy to pick 6 yesterday. So we start fresh today, going 6 furlongs in the main track for fillies and mares. $25,000 claimers, non-winners at 2 races lifetime, a field of 9. Number 8, Maximum Gold for trainer Ruben Gomez is the 3-1 morning line favorite. Talk to us about race 5, Michelle.
I wound up on the 6 Sabella for Sean McCarthy, Tyler Bays there. One of my angles that I like to play all the time is if you break your maiden for a claiming tag, you come back for that non-winners of 2 with the tag cut in half. So she broke her maiden for 50. She came back against starter company. That is not what I recommend when you want to win a race. She also didn't have a very clean trip. So she is going to cut into the 25 non-2 in this spot. So that's just a horse I feel like I have to back because she's following my angle map.
It's a good angle, by the way.
Yeah,
I use it all the time.
And like, for example, this horse I used underneath is a 3 Empress of Grace. And she did that. She broke her maiden for 50 and she came back and she ran the 25 non-2 and she ran very good, finishing third, only got beat less than a length. So I thought that was a really solid effort for her, especially going from a low sal maiden 50 into the Del Mar 25 non-2 where, you have allowance droppers and everything else in there. So I had to use her underneath as well.
Race number 6 begins both the 50-cent late pick 5 as well as the $3 all turf pick 3. We're back sprinting on the turf course, 6 furlongs in the flat turf course. Maiden special weight Calbred, 2-year-olds. A good field of 11. Scratch the also eligible number 12. Morning line favorite number 4, Book Clubhouse. You and your husband train number 3, Sagunta, who's taking the blinkers off. We'll get to him in just one moment. But before we do any of that, you wanted to show a couple of workouts in this race, Michelle. The first workout would be for number 1, Debbie's Getting Hot. This workout was back on September 21st. Why did you want to show us this?
So first of all, I don't train the horse. Ryan trains. Don't make him upset.
It's a team effort.
So I was just kind of looking for a horse that could maybe improve. And
he's not watching the seminar either, by the way.
He actually does watch the seminar. He listens to the seminar every day.
Wow.
He puts it on in his car when he drives. So he probably is listening.
It keeps him awake.
It does. So watching this horse, very green early on in this work, going to get a little racy around the turn. And then when they come home, he gets a little bit tired, but he had been kind of keen beforehand. I'm looking for a horse that can improve. I thought this was a really good time for the workout. This is a horse that's working on the main track when he's run on the grass. He ran okay. First time out going 5. I think the more ground is going to be better for this horse. So he's just a horse I think can improve. He's still putting things together, right? We haven't seen the best of him yet.
Fair enough. Now let's talk about your runner, Sagunto, taking the blinkers off. Talk to us about what you expect of his chances today.
I'm a big Sagunto fan. I really liked him as a baby. And when
a Nyquist Calbred.
He's this big.
Wow.
He's adorable. So looking at him on debut, the problem was that they just kind of blew his mind. He actually worked pretty good in the mornings, but they went out to the race and going that flat 5 furlongs. They opened the gates and he broke kind of a hesitating step slow. And then they just went so fast. He was like, whoa. I mean, he's a horse that's always been kind of on the lead in his works or been right there. I mean, he's never just been blown away. He got the dirt kicked in his face. And Kazushi said once that happened, he was very offended.
Sammy Davis came back to win the graduation stakes. So it was a good race.
It was a super good race.
Some talented horses.
Going in, I mean, we had worked with Sammy Davis in company with actually an open caliber horse. And Juan had told me, like, that horse is not going to lose opening, the first time we run him and he's going to win a stake. So, like, they had already known that horse was really good. So that does make you feel a little bit better. But this horse was just kind of mind boggled by the whole scenario, didn't like the dirt. So because of that, we wanted to run him on the grass. Ideally, 2 sprints to a route is the way to go. But you know how the races go at Del Mar. They don't fill, they overfill. He just wasn't getting in. So Ryan ended up running him the mile there. He did get a little bit tired after setting some tempo. I thought he ran a much better race because he was up involved. He was not caught off guard again, especially when they went a mile because he was able to lay, just a little bit closer without overextending himself early and just scrambling. Sometimes you got to let those colts kind of get their feet underneath them. So he takes the blinkers off today. I didn't ask him why, so I couldn't tell you. But I like the turn back and distance. He should be fit, and hopefully he's going to click it all together. I know Kazushi had a couple of options in this race. I was happy he stuck with this horse.
Race number 7 is the first of our 2 Breeders' Cup winning year in races. Race 7 is named in honor of Zenyatta. It's the Grade 2 Zenyatta Stakes. $200,000 guaranteed. A winning year in race for the Distaff division. Obviously, this race is for fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th on the main track. Race 7 also begins the 50-cent late pick 4. Bob Baffert trains 3 in here. Morning line favoritism, primarily going back and forth between Cavalieri. Is that how it's pronounced?
Cavalieri.
Yeah, I know. I always struggle with that. And number 5, Ricci. Good luck to Hillendale Farms, who's part owner of Ricci. You wanted to show a work for Cavalieri.
Sure. Let's take a look at her work.
Tell us why. This was a teamwork actually with Gaming back on September 21st also.
Yeah, so she's going to be working on the inside here. We probably could have started this work a little bit closer to the finish.
We got time. We got 13 minutes.
So she's undefeated, right? She's never been beaten. As far as a time goes, she doesn't work a lot of 6 furlong work. She usually works shorter. So I wanted to see how she looked in the 6 furlong drill. And Gaming is a pretty good workhorse. You can see that she's in front here. Usually Bob puts his horse he wants to work harder on the inside to, I guess, make them work harder. When she comes around the turn, she does have to get kind of asked along just a little bit to maintain this advantage that she has. I don't know if that is like normal for her or not, just because we don't see her work 6 furlongs and she's fine to the 5. But you see right here, her rider's asking her along and Gaming just kind of cruising. And Gaming was also entered in the Goodwood, and they opted not to run him there because he drew the rail slot. So she's getting a really stiff workout here. I feel like for the Bafferts, this time might be a titch on the, I don't want to say slow side, but, Bafferts can generally put up a 111 and 112, but nothing to dislike about her. But when he's riding her that hard at the end, I don't know, you kind of wish that she had maybe opened up a little bit. Does it make her seem vulnerable?
Well, let's compare that workout to Ricci's workout, because you want to show Ricci's work on September 13th, ironically my birthday. Thank you for the birthday wishes back then. What'd you like about this work for Ricci?
So this is actually kind of an anti-work also, because look at 112 and change. This is not quite as good as usual, according to the Southern California workout report. I think she looks fine in here. She also does get asked late, but normally I guess she works a little bit more in hand. So I'm not sure if it was just the move back or the track is like a little bit heavy for these fillies. But it seems that they both could have worked a smidgen better, according to things that the Southern California workout report that watch them work every single week.
So having looked at those 2 workouts, do you like either one of the Bafferts, or are you going elsewhere?
I mean, I still end up with Cavalieri on top because she hasn't done anything wrong. I mean, I do wish that I had seen just kind of an easier work from her, from the standpoint of her rider was asking her pretty hard. And we're pretty accustomed to seeing Baffer horses just go out there and rock and roll. And you don't have to ask them or whip them or anything. They just are fast. So that was a little, maybe it moved me from a single to wanting to spread a little bit. But from a caliber standpoint, I mean, her and Ricci really just tower above the rest of these girls.
Here's a couple of statistics on both Cavalieri and Ricci, primarily focusing on their last race. In the Beholder Mile that Cavalieri won, that was the 2nd fastest dirt mile at San Anita the last 6 years. Think about that for a minute. All the races we've run on the main track at a distance of 1 mile, 134.96 was her final time. So obviously she's got a world of ability. And Ricci really lost nothing in defeat by finishing 3rd in the Clement L. Hirsch. That number, the winner that particular day, earned a 108 by her speed figure, 110 by her speed figure. That was the highest number of the year at that point for either gender anywhere in the country.
Wow.
So both races, from a pure time standpoint, were very, very impressive. So I think there's a world of ability in this race. We'll see actually who emerges victorious around 4:08 p.m. Pacific time. Race number 8 begins the popular $3 late pick 3. We're going 1 mile on turf course for Calbred fillies and mares. Allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of one other than. Scratch the 8. That means number 12, True Patriot, does draw into the race. The other 2 also eligibles, however, 13 and 14 will not compete. Another lukewarm morning line favorite, number 10, Quantum Energy from the Jeff Mullins barn, 4-1 on the morning line. I saw it at the side of my eye. I think I saw you sending a text to somebody. Was that in reply to Zoe?
It was Zoe, yeah.
Was she embarrassed yet or not?
No.
Okay.
So we had some like dinner plans going on, and then she's reneging on our dinner plans. So
imagine that. She never does that, does Well, if you go to dinner, you're going to have to pay for dinner. So we need some help here. And who's going to win race 8?
So I liked the 6, Lady Mendelson, who is 9-2 on the morning line for Carla Gaines, who had an absolute showpiece of a Del Mar meet. I think she won 9 or 10 races. So a really spectacular summer for her. This horse was one of those winners down at Del Mar. I think that she's been ultra consistent in all of her races, dirt or turf. Long and short, she has been just a really good filly, but she does seem to excel routing. She gets the 2 turns here. I think she's going to get a nice pace set up. Umby sticks around. So for me, it was a no-brainer that I liked Lady Mendelson.
You spend a lot of time in the paddock, Michelle, as do I, and I think you would agree. The runners that Carla Gaines sends over to be tacked up in the saddling area always look tremendous, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
it's
100%.
hard to pick against her when she enters a horse because they always look so good consistently every day, every week, every year. She does a great job. She's a really, really good horsewoman.
Excellent. She has a great feed program. She got a great supplement program. Her horses come over and their manes are pulled. They're, clean. The grooms are taking care to wipe their, spit off if they have any. They have their legs taken care of. So if there's any dirt, they can get that off really easily. They always come over gleaming. And if they're have a little bit of a long hair coat, she's out there, getting them clipped right away. Zoe's out there working for her dinner too. So the Carla horses always look fantastic.
Race number 9 is our second Breeders' Cup winning year-end race. It's the San Anita Sprint Championship. It's a grade Grade 2 event, sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track. It also begins the $5 late daily double. We've got a good field of 8. Bob Baffert trains 2 in here, but the morning line favorite, number 2, Straight No Chaser, who we haven't seen since April over in Maidan. 7-5 on the morning line. Winner of this race last year. Talk to us about race 9. But before you do, we want to show the workout, right, for Straight No Chaser?
Yeah, let's take a look at Straight No Chaser. So he was working down at Del Mar, and he was putting in some handy workouts, really blazing along. I mean, he went 58 and change one day, but this work could not be any easier.
Look at the exercise rider's arms.
Yes, he is feet in the dash. This is the example of feet in the dash. That horse, his head is up because he's trying to grab the bit because he wants to go faster. Juan hopes that he doesn't have to sneeze or something and give that horse an inch because he will take an absolute mile. I love how he finishes here because he just looks like such a powerhouse. He was obviously keen to get going, but he's going to finish really nicely. And he has so much in the tank. I mean, look at this. If I told you this was,
48 flat,
49,
sure,
something like that, you'd be like, yeah, no problem. I mean, he looks like he's going effortlessly, except that he wants to go faster. So I thought just a really great work for him coming in here. He doesn't race at Santa Anita all that often. He did win this race last year, but I think that this is his race to lose. Even if he's coming off a layoff, he looks fit and ready to me.
Now, that was visually impressive, but we have another workout courtesy of our friends at firsttv.com for number 5, Speedboat Beach, back on September 22nd. Not quite an instant replay, but somewhat similar.
Well, at the beginning it is anyways. I think the important thing to watch is towards the end. So you see he's also in an absolute stranglehold to begin this work. Now he is going further than Straight No Chaser, and his time is still very good. This is what we expect from Baffert horses. When he comes around the turn here, he also really wants to go. This would be a great side-by-side. I would love to see those two work side-by-side right here. Now, down the lane, though, where Straight No Chaser was being pretty much geared down, you can see Speedboat Beach is being allowed to kind of, gallop out a little bit. Now, he's not being completely asked along, but he's not being just, hammer locked down. So he is going to finish just a little bit differently than Straight No Chaser. His gallop out is fantastic right here. But of the two, I did like Straight No Chaser a little bit more, but this horse definitely looks fit. And he's, 2 races since coming off that extended layoff have not been great. So maybe he's back on the form cycle where he's going to run well.
I was just thinking during the Del Mar meeting, you were there quite a bit as well. There were a lot of humid days down at Del Mar, more so than usual. I don't need to tell you, right?
Miserable.
But I mean, if you are a bleeder, and of course Speedboat Beach is, that doesn't help you. I'm not saying he bled. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying I could maybe give him an excuse just simply from a weather standpoint.
It's even horses that don't generally bleed will go to Del Mar and bleed. I mean, we had a horse this summer who's never bled in his life, and he's 5 years old, and he bled running at Del Mar, right?
Yeah.
The proximity to the ocean with the salt in the air, it definitely can do something to some horses. So yeah, he might not have appreciated the air, the humidity, whatever it was. So we'll see today. I know I did not. Ooh, I do not like to be. If you guys could be in the studio right now, like we have heaters underneath because I like to keep it nice and cool in here. I cannot stand to be hot.
Close out the day and close out the weekend. Race number 10, as previously mentioned, race number 10 offers $1 super high five wagering. And we've got a carryover, $15,000 already in the kitty. We're going 1 mile on the turf course for 3-year-old fillies. Non-winners of one other than. Scratch the also eligibles. 12, 13, and 14 will not compete. Number 4, Take a Breath from the Mark Latt barn is the 5-2 morning line favorite. You wanted to show a workout for Edge of Molly. This workout was back on September 14th for trainer Jeff Mullins. Why did you want to show this workout, Michelle?
So Take a Breath was coming out of the Del Mar Oaks. So is Edge of Molly. And this was just a really good work for her. Coming in, she was super keen to go on, but you see she's going to be able to finish this work so good. As they come around the turn here on the training track, you'll see she's still full of run, and her rider is trying to slow her down without putting the hammer lock. You can see him kind of like taking a little hold and just easing her up every now and then, like, hold on, girl, don't go too fast. She takes this corner absolutely beautifully. And then coming down the lane, he's pretty much going to gear her down, and you're still going to get 59 and change. And she had something left in the tank. So I think the allowance level is going to be a nice spot for her. I think the turn back in distance is going to be a good spot. And you just have to like this work. I mean, look at the rider. It's like, okay, nice and easy here. And on the gallop out, she got caught from the SoCal workout report in 113 flat. So a racehorse time on the gallop out is very nice as well.
Michelle, before we get your picks, this is the first time this has ever happened, and you're going to be an eyewitness to it. Take a look at the TV screen that we're obviously all watching. Do you know it's not 12:21? Check your.
It's 12:27.
I know. So that's weird. There's 6 minutes that we think we have that we actually don't have. So
really? What happened to it?
I don't know. I do a lot of things around here, but that's not one of
I thought you were going to tell me there was like some kind of weird solar eclipse and all the clocks jumped forward.
Well, that might
have
what caused the mistake. But nevertheless, I just wanted to point out true time here in Los Angeles, Arcadia, California is 12:27. All right, we saw Jamali's workout. Is that your top pick in the race?
I ended up on the favorite, but I just think Edgemali could be a really good play in there with that nice work coming in for Mullins.
Now, we've got the Coast to Coast Pick 5, of course, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, offered here at Santa Anita and around the country because it combines races both from Gulfstream Park and Santa Anita. It's a $1 minimum with a low 15% takeout. And also the Sunset 6, which has that carryover we spoke about. The carryover is in excess of $40,000, $47,000 to be precise. That Sunset 6 wager begins with Gulfstream Park, race number 8, 4:35 Eastern time, 1:35 our time. You said, I believe, that you have a single in the Sunset 6 wager here at Santa Anita. Is it straight no chaser?
It's straight no chaser.
Okay.
Sorry if you lose it. I mean, my single yesterday was full Serrano. So, I mean, we saw how that went. But I felt like because it's a pick 6, or because it's a pick 6 sequence, I had to try and bring it down. My first day ticket was $144. So I've been trying to keep it a little bit more affordable. That was, my go big or go home moment. And so I'm going to end up with a single of Straight No Chaser. I would really like to add some more horses in the last leg if I could. That would be where I would be.
But if you get to that point, you can actually save by making win wagers if you want to.
Yes.
If you want to save, because you know what the payouts are going to be, and you can protect yourself a little bit that way. So stick with your budget. Your first glance is always the best glance. Don't overanalyze.
You know how I feel about pick 6s. So if I don't come close, if I don't hit this pick 6, I'm gonna have to go back to the Coast to Coast pick 5 because that's much more in my wheelhouse.
Both of them are a $1 minimum, and both are 15% low takeout. So make sure you get involved with the 2-day carryover in the Sunset 6 wager, and also, of course, the $15,000 Super High 5 carryover in the last race here at San Diego. Michelle, thanks so much for your time, your energy, your insight. Continued success with the barn, the Hanson barn, and good luck with all your picks today.
Thanks, TQ. Appreciate it.
Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Keep in mind, live racing resumes after today on Friday. We've got 9 races for you at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, have a great afternoon, everybody, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we direct your attention to the flagpole in the infield. Please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon. Welcome to the great race place, Santa Anita Park, where the track is fast, the turf is firm, and the rail on the turf is out 10 feet. Here are the changes. First things first, the Sunset Pick 6 will start with Gulfstream Park's 8th race. No one has hit it. It started on Friday. It's a brand new wager combining the two tracks' last 3 races, Gulfstream and Santa Anita. There's 47,000 in the carryover. Lots of talk about value in wagering. That would fit the description. $47,057 in the Sunset Pick 6 carryover. If you haven't looked at it, now's a good time. It's the combination of the last 3 races from Gulfstream Park and the last 3 from Santa Anita. About an hour to post for their 8th at Gulfstream. Early pick 5 starts with the first, just that blinker note. In the second, early pick 4 wagering is offered, and there are no program changes. Race 3, win only due to the scratch of number 3, Twilight Empire. 3 and 5 now out of the third. The fourth starts the middle pick 4, scratch number 2, Chai. In the fifth, $2 pick 6 wagering is offered. No changes in race 5. Race 6, scratch number 12, throw the first punch. Late pick 5, all turf pick 3 start there. 10, Senor Tequilas, 3 pounds over. The 7th, the grade 2 Zenyatta, Breeders' Cup winning, you're in for the Distaff division. Just the blinker note. 8th race, scratch 8, Miss Will, as well as 13, Don't Mess with Tess, and 14, Isa Court. 8, 13, 14 out, the 12 draws in. Late pick 3 starts with the 8th. 9th race, late double. Santa Anita Sprint Championship presented by Estrella Jalisco. No changes in the 9th. And in the 10th, scratch the alsos 12, 13, and 14. Super high 5 wagering with a little bit of an attraction, 15,361 in the carryover. We close out opening weekend with the first race starting it off. First of 10 goes in 25 minutes. Enjoy your day.
Bye.